What's up, YouTube? I shot a match previously and I received a bunch of requests asking for kind of a talk through for how I shot the match, the things I was looking for, the stage plan, the programming, kind of all that kind of stuff. So instead, what I've got in store for you is just that, just a talk through of kind of what I had in mind and why I chose the stage plans I did. I dropped this program or this video of all the stages back to back into a program we used for training group. It's pstg.us, practical shooting training group, a digital coaching site that I'm a partner in. And so anyway, this kind of gives me the ability, this program that I can draw on the screen, or I can circle stuff. I can go frame by frame. It's like, oh, for example, there's only one bullet there. Now there's two bullets there. I could zoom in on stuff. All that kind of stuff. So anyway, just kind of try to give you an idea of, this is all GoPro footage. I'm so sorry, I didn't even think to get third person. So you'll be seeing what I see, but I kind of just want to talk through the mindset, kind of my plan for the stage and all that kind of junk. So this was just a local match, 6 stages, a little bit behind the scenes. I think this was only the second match I'd shot this entire year so far. Life's been good, which I'm very appreciative for, but I haven't shot that many matches. So going to this match, I didn't want to really attack anything. Instead, I plan to just try to shoot tidy, be in control, and just hit the targets. Not try to do anything super crazy. To give you an idea of the stage, this first one, this is Bay 5. There's the outlines, or the outline that I made is kind of where the fault lines are. There's 3 ports. Between each of those ports, there's going to be 3 targets. And then beyond that, as you can see here, there's some wall sections with steel behind them. So the wall sections were set up in a way that if there's originally, well, it happened a little behind the scenes. So I got to the match while the stage was still being set up, and I talked to the stage designer, and originally it looked like this. And I was like, hey man, just so you know, everyone's just going to go to the middle port, shoot those 3 targets, and then shoot all 6 steel through that port. And he's like, yeah, that gives them options. They can shoot other places too. And I'm like, yeah, dude, but they're not going to. So anyway, he was fortunately quite open to some feedback, and I talked him into putting up these wall sections. The wall sections at least made it a little bit less kind of one way to shoot it, or a little bit more variety. With the wall sections from this one, I can't see the left target, but I can see the right 2 steel. The left one I'll only be able to see just from the center port. So it makes it a little bit more interesting at least. It's still not a super interesting stage, but I mean, what do you do? So the strategy for this, you could start. My drawing's getting worse. You could start anywhere you wanted to. It doesn't really make any sense to start in the middle, because then I'd need to go left or right or vice versa. So it made more sense to go left, middle, right, or the reverse of that, I could go right, middle, and then left. Since I'm right-handed, reloading towards my strong side and just moving that way, I like that more. So I start on the right side. Through the port, I just started with at an angle, moving towards the right. That way I could see this left target first, and then kind of as I move my body more that way, I can shoot the targets inside through the port as they appear, and that'll leave me in a position after I shoot this target where these 2 still be available for me, and I can just shoot them kind of without moving my feet. So that's what I chose to do. So left, middle, right target through here, the steel running to the middle. The same strategy here. So I just wanted to shoot stuff as I see it. Notice I can't get any of those steel from here. So I just did left, middle, and then as I'm already facing this way, I just took the steel next, then down to the paper. That way I could kind of keep my body momentum moving that way. Sorry, a little bit fast. But after that, there's a target there inside. Then the next situation or the option, you're going to shoot through the port, and there's these 3 steel also. This wall stopped, so you couldn't see the steel from there. With the angle from this port, you couldn't get to those back targets. So there's kind of 2 options. Either you run here, stop somewhere out here in the middle to shoot those steel and then end the port, or go to the port and then shoot the steel. I decided to go to the port first. The reason was I thought, it's my first stage. I haven't shot a second match for the year. I'm going to be amped up anyway. And then I thought running full tilt, stopping, trying to set my feet down gently and start shooting at these mini poppers, that seems a little more difficult. So I opted to just go to the port first. So reload on the way there, then it's left, middle, right. Then afterwards, I did kind of just a side step or a cross step, and then get at the last steal. So that's it, nothing too special. This was stage 5. I had 1 Charlie for this, that's fine. It shouldn't be a bunch of Charlies. Like 0, 1, maybe 2 Charlies if we're very fast would be okay. But otherwise, there shouldn't be many points down on this stage. Overall, I had a few extra makeups in the steal, which I was quite irritated about, but what do you do? The next stage, this one, again, it's my first match of the year, second match, I'm sorry. I didn't really try to go anything full tilt. So for this, I just decided I'm going to react to the color of my sight for all the stages and not shoot until I at least see the color of my sight on the target. So I wasn't trying to use the force or anything like that. There's 3 shooting boxes on this stage, not super imaginative for a classifier, go figure. And then from each box, you can only see a couple targets. So from this center box, where you have to start, I can see these 2 targets. As I move over to the right box, I'll be able to see this target and that target from there. Then as you go over to the very left box, you'll be able to see this outside target and this inside target. A couple different ideas I talked about with the guys on my squad. A couple strategies. You could either draw here and shoot these targets, then move and keep shooting. Or a couple guys decided to run offline first, run to the right because they're going to draw anyway and figure that's going to take a second or second and a half. That way you'd eat up the draw time while getting there. I didn't think there was much to be gained. If anything, it was maybe a wash because then you're going to have to do. So since I was standing here, I just decided to shoot the targets. So what you'll see is, I'll slow this down. It's like half speed. As soon as the sight hits my eye line, I'm going to start shooting. On the first shot of this, I remembered seeing the dot blip just a little bit down and to the left. So I shot an extra shot without even thinking about it. It just happened. So this stage was 3 per. So you have to shoot each target 3 times. So then out here from the outside, important thing to note, I'm looking down for the box. Once my eyes pick up the box and I know where it's at, I'm going to start looking up for the target. Once I get close and I've found the box, my eyes go up, I'm looking for the target, and I'm mounting the gun. The idea being as soon as I get inside the box where it's kind of legal to shoot without penalties, I'm going to start firing. After that, oops, a little too fast. After that, shooting this target, which makes sense because then my momentum is going to be leading me that way, which I'm going to head to next. I chose to go right first just because I prefer to move towards my strong side for kind of this long run. So same deal, looking down, finding the box. Once I found the box, I'm going to look up for the target, mount the gun, and then as soon as I see the color of my sight and it's legal to shoot, I'm going to shoot the targets. So this ended up fine. I don't know if there was anything that crazy, but I had all A's on this one, which was good for me. Like I said, not trying to really make a play or anything crazy, just shoot the targets. For USPSA nerds, I was shooting my gun from Parker Mountain Machine that has a dual port comp, so this is considered open division. It's not really advantageous for the scoring system, but it was just something fun I'd been shooting and I wanted to shoot in a match. So I just went here to have fun, honestly, and hang out with my friends. So I chose to shoot the gun that I was having the most fun with at the time. This stage 1, what we got going on here, you'll see there's targets off to the left and off to the right that you have to get from the box I've started in. Then after that, let's go frame by frame. After that, there's a shooting area here, and from that area, some targets to get got. 3 targets here that you're going to have to shoot from this left section of the shooting area. For whatever reason, the course designer just kind of wanted to mess with people and stipulated this target right there needed to get shot with 4 rounds, and the other ones will be 2. So it's 2 shots, 4 shots, 2 shots. Just kind of enough to mess with you if you're not thinking about that. So during my walkthrough, when I'm visualizing, I was really paying attention to make sure I remembered to not kind of have any interruption in the cadence or the order I was shooting. Just keep dot press, dot press, dot press. Just reacting to the color of my sight. And so anyway, it was important to not just do 2, 2, 2, start to leave, and then remember, oh yeah, I need to shoot that target 2 more times. The right side, there's 2 pieces of paper and 4 steel targets. There's probably honestly not really an advantage to going one way or the other. The right shooting area is a little bit more crowded, so maybe it made sense to go that way first. Instead, I opted to go left just for the aspect of stopping on steel. Some people do what's kind of called the popper dance, where they shoot at the steel and they think it's good, but it's not, and they end up leaving, and you leave steel or have to jump back in the box. I didn't want that to be me, so I just decided for this kind of entire match, just trying to shoot tidy anyway. Nothing really going crazy, so I just opted to shoot left, shoot the targets as I see them, run around the front while doing a mag change, end up here in the right, and then shoot the last targets. Showing you first person, kind of. The target I'm going to draw to. Again, I chose to draw to that target because that was the way I wasn't going to go. So then I'm going to shoot this target, and since I'm already facing this way, it makes it easier for me to move into the shooting area. So those two targets, try to have the gun up nice and early. Again, as soon as I'm in the box, start shooting. Remember, it's going to be 2 shots, 4 shots, 2 shots. So again, it was important to make sure I really remembered the order, and I didn't want to pause or anything like that. You should just keep pulling the trigger and not have any kind of a tell or a hiccup or glitch or however you want to think of it. Then once I got to the last section, I just chose to shoot them from right to left. I think it was important to see the color of your sight on this. With enough chance, you could use the force or enough tries and really burn the steel through here. Instead, I just decided I wanted to see the color of my sight on every single target, and I wasn't going to shoot unless I saw that. Saying that and think about it intellectually, it makes sense, but when you're behind the gun, you want to really go fast. Sometimes it's easier said than done. But if you look, it's like I didn't have any makeups. The first 2 steel especially, it was like I don't know if you could find any more dead center of the target. So anyway, really trying to make sure that I'd found the exact middle, waited for my sight to get there. Maybe a tick left in the other 2. But again, making sure I found that circle, the scoring area, and I knew the bullets were there. There was no question marks because I didn't want to just sweep through them really quick and then end up leaving a steel or needing to go back or anything like that. So on that stage, that was 2 Charlies, which was fine. Overall, like no big deal. I think it was okay. This one, stage 2. Move back so you can kind of see what's going on. We've got is kind of an L-shaped shooting area. And from that, there's a few areas you have to go to. Starting position is hands touching those little green marks over there. Then from within the fault lines, you're going to have to go here to see 2 targets on the outside. Through the middle, right here, there's going to be some targets that you can only get from here. There's a target over here behind this barrel. A steel target here that you could get from 2 different spots. I could get the steel from here or from there. So anyway, there was a few options for how to do it. Then from back here, I had to come to this area back where I'm standing at to get to this target. And you can see one more target over here that I had to shoot from back there also. So again, kind of like when I look at this thing intellectually, what makes the most sense as far as a plan for the stage? And to me, it's like, well, I've circled all the spots more or less where I have to go. I'm just going to take them all in an order. And that was what I did. It felt like it was the easiest to remember. So, starting with the hands touching the marks. After that, towards the right, we've got 2 different targets to choose from. Open target and this partial target. The partial target wasn't super tight. You could see plenty of A-zone. I'm not going to get it very well. But you could see the A-zone somewhere in there. So plenty still of scoreable A-zone on that target. So I opted to shoot like an inch down from the top of the A-zone. And the order of the targets for this, I chose to shoot this target just as soon as I saw the color. Start attacking this target. Then for that back target, I wanted to shoot dot press reactively. Just because, like, yeah, I could rip on it, but there's a no-shoot or a penalty target there, and I wanted to have high accountability. So one thing to pay close attention to, let's see, I'm going to slow this thing down a little bit. You'll see a noticeable difference in the way I engaged it. So the first target, just as soon as I see the color, I start firing. For the back target, you see the sight go there. It stops. You see a little pause, and then the sight, in my eyes, looks like a bouncing ball in real time. So there's no question marks. Like, yep, those were alphas, exactly where I was looking. Then through the middle section, there's a few options. The steel, I could have got it from here. I liked taking it from that end position better, but it just presented better. I'll show you why in a second. So I shot this target first, just as I saw it. Then trying to set up wide, because after that, there's no sense in trying to shoot through. I've got to take this target, this target, this target, and this target. All have to come from here. This target already got shot from the first position I was in. So here, especially for these targets and this target, I just did reactive shooting. More of that dot press. So even though in my brain, I was screaming at myself to go faster, just try to be disciplined. Wait till I see the sight, the color of my sight, press the trigger. I see it again, press the trigger. So it's just 1 for 1 on the steel, no makeups on that partial target, no issues on the partial either. Then after I shot this target, I tried to move my gun. I brought it in just enough. Let's see if we can see the wall. Yep, brought in just enough to not hit this wall, and then tried to bring my gun straight out and looking for this target through the wall, because once I saw the target in front of my muzzle, I wanted to be able to shoot it. Same thing here. Notice that dot press. Then mag change as I move back to this back section, which worked well for me being left-handed, able to keep the gun down range. Then here you can see, whoa, let's go. Alphas. But you could see the presentation for this steel, I thought just made so much sense. So then I could just 2 paper, steel, 2 paper, bring the gun in to not hit the wall, and then there's the last target. So for stage planning, I didn't feel like it was anything that special. I was just trying to shoot the targets as they appeared in front of my muzzle. This stage was all A's. Like, honestly, I could have attacked these stages harder, but I didn't want any catastrophes. And like I said, this was only the second match I'd shot for the year, so I just shot kind of tidy. This one's stage 3. See if I can get a good angle. So what you've got from here is back on this corner of the fault line, kind of where I'm standing. This target, that steel, and that paper are going to have to come from that side. After you move, then there's a target out here that can only come from this back corner. And then kind of through, well, it's a little bit wavy, but you get the idea. From this shooting area, you're going to see these targets back from kind of between here and here. You've got targets to get. So you've got to get this target. There's a target just over the barrel, a steel there, and I think a full paper there. And then after that, we go to this area, target here, steel target there, and a target there. So kind of looking at this all for the angles I needed to do. Some people started on this target over here, then went left to shoot this, then this, then this. Then after that, went back right to like that target and then tried to work their way in. I didn't think it made any sense. Again, I'm just trying to make things as simple as I can for game day. So all I opted to do was start on the left side, cleared this target as soon as I saw it. Then go figure, the next target I see is the steel. Kind of move my body a little bit or cross step, and then I can get to this target, which will then clean out the left side of targets. Now all I've got is like way easier. Now I've just got the right side to deal with. So the order here I thought made sense was before you go forward, this guy's got to go. So right target first. Excuse me. Then after I got rid of that target, then I've got targets here, 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 and the rest of them over here. I just decided to shoot them from right to left. So you'll notice I'm walking forward while I shoot this target. And while I continue to walk forward while I shoot it, that gets me in a position where I can see everything else. So it was important because if I stopped too short, this target would have been obscured by the wall and I would have had to have made another movement. And if I didn't move far enough, then I couldn't have got this steel because the barrel was partially obscuring it. And then I've got this target, which is obscured by the barrel. So I liked this stage a lot. It was a little bit technical in finding the right spot to stand in. So all I opted to do, again, was just, let's go, there's those A's. Shoot from right to left, just walking across. So all I did was get that target while I walked forward. With this target, I opted to aim right about there because I knew I'd get A's, but I wasn't going to hit the barrels. So that was reactive shooting also. Dot press, dot press. This steel target, reactive shooting. Again, if that's one thing I could impress upon you, it was having, like, deciding what the aiming strategy should be. So what I need to see on each target and the engagement sequence for how quickly I'm going to engage each target. Because that gave me high accountability. That, like, there's a bunch of bad things that could happen in there. Missing the steel, hitting the barrel, shooting the wall, some people do. So for me, it's like, nope, I'll wait until I see the color of my sight, be stopped and stable, and then I'll see the sight before I shoot on each shot. So my sight looks kind of like a bouncing ball, especially for that target. Then after those are done, it's all gravy from there. All I've got then is this tuxedo to walk in on, the steel target and this target. The steel on the tuxedo and the steel was the same thing. For me, it was going to be dot press, dot press. So I'm purposely trying to take all the time in the world I need to make sure it looks perfect. On the steel, I was still stepping forward. I felt a little uneven, so I waited to break the shot. But this target was blocked by the wall, so it didn't really cost me anything. And again, I was really just looking for accountability. So this stage was good for me also. Let's see. This was all A's on that one also. So no points down. Maybe not the most aggressive shooting, but it turned out fine. All right. This was the last stage of the match for me. This was stage 4. The rundown for this one, as you can see, there's a target that you have to get off to the right side from this back area. Move forward. Then through this port, there's another couple targets to get. And then there's a bunch of different options. So there's going to be an area up here that I can see through that's going to have 3 targets. There's also a target here. These are 3 steel targets stacked that I'm going to have to get from somewhere in this shooting area, or looking through that area rather. Go up to the fault line. Then there's a target here, and then so for the rest of the stuff, it's like, hey, I can get this target from standing here. I can go over to the port and get this target. I could go over here, stand right here, and get to that target. There's a bunch of options. If I remember, I think there's one target back over there also, right behind the wall. So anyway, a bunch of different options for how to do this. You should notice a trend. I was just trying to pick the least tough on me. So what I chose was starting in the right, then going to the left. Then all I'm going to do is just walk forward. While I walk forward, do some shooting from here, and then end up here. So I'm really just trying to pick the best, most efficient route and not doing any of the back and forth, left and right kind of stuff. So walking through it in first person, my plan, I wanted to lean plenty to make sure I wasn't going to hit that wall. So the first target, again, on this lean, reactive shooting is dot press, dot press. It's tough when those walls are in the way. Then through the port, 2 more targets. I chose to shoot the right one first, then the left one, because I could be moving my momentum towards the right while I did it. After that, notice the gun stays up and mounted. I didn't bring the gun back. I was the second person, I think, up on this stage, and the steel was stacked kind of in depth. Let's see how good I can do at marking this, but here's kind of like one popper starts there, another popper starts there. So you could see the top of all 3 poppers while I was walking forward, but they're also rearward falling. So I knew I could just keep like pounding on them and they'd all fall down. So anyway, I decided just to shoot the steel while I came up, shooting 3 or 4 shots, calling them all good. And once I called them good, I was going to shoot these targets. And then I just had it in my brain. I will just glance. And if there's any steel I missed, I'll pick it up at that time. Then I'm going to go over to the port. So anyway, ended up working out pretty well. So after that, you'll notice I just walk forward. Oops, went backwards too far. So after that, gun stays extended. Pick up the steel while I'm walking forward. Again, trying to shoot reactively. Just dot press. All those went down. Then 3 targets, just right to left. Notice there's like a small little pause on that no-shoot target. Yep, I knew there's a target over there. if memory served. I should have watched this video before I recorded. This is another kind of interesting point. I'm going off memory of these stages, and it's been over a week and a half. I haven't seen these stages, but I remembered there was a target there because before I shot this stage, I'd went through it in my brain so many times, kind of closing my eyes, but seeing it in first person to really remember where are the targets, where do I want to hold the targets, where am I going to reload my gun, so I could kind of do it subconsciously. You don't have to think about it while you're shooting practical shooting. So anyway, my idea was when I came over, I wanted to push this target towards the right edge of that port because I knew if I did that, it would give me enough room to get to that left target without leaning or moving my feet, which I did. And then afterwards, I was going to do that one more target back here, and I end up just kind of sidestepping, keeping the gun mounted, and shooting that target last. So that's it for stage 4. 1 Charlie on that stage, which was, again, that was fine. So overall for the match, I ended up with 4 Charlies, which was fine. Actually a pretty good outcome, I guess. I really wasn't, like I said, attacking anything. I was more of just like, hey, this is the second match I've shot this year. Don't try to do anything super smart. Just shoot the targets and have a good score. So anyway, hopefully that makes sense and kind of explains the process for why I chose the plans I did and kind of a little bit of the planning, what I was looking forward to not, like, kind of keep myself on the rails from making a mistake, if that makes sense. So why I chose the orders I did, and then kind of thinking about what things could be happening along the way and how I'd avoid those. So hopefully that makes sense, gives you some things to think about if you're a practical shooting nerd or into that kind of stuff or interested in giving it a try. If you have any questions for me, drop it below. I'll do my best to answer. Thanks for watching.